So this video is about walking. I want you to think about how you walk. Are you lifting your leg? Are you striking your heel down? Or are you walking flat-footed? Are you shuffling a little bit? Do you struggle to lift your feet? So today we're going to work on some exercises to help you with that. So there's 4 exercises and one secret one. So the 4 exercises, we're going to use a chair for balance. And this is because we don't want you to be concentrating, you don't want to be thinking about your balance, you want to be thinking about the muscles you're using and how you're doing the exercises. So the first exercise we're going to do, we've got the chair next to us, and we're going to, for most of these, stand on one leg for some of the exercise. Now think about that. When we walk, we shift our weight from leg to leg, don't we? So this is very functional. This is like an exercise. This is the secret exercise. So it's an exercise within an exercise. So the movement bit is the bit that you're probably going to focus on, but I want you also to put some focus into the leg you're standing on. So what we're going to do here is we're going to use the chair for a little bit of balance. Try not to lean on the chair too much. Try and keep the weight in your legs. So we're going to, the leg we stand on, I want you to think about squeezing your bottom a little bit. You've got a little bit of bottom squeeze in there because that will help you. And when you put your weight into the leg that's not moving, try not to push your hip out. Try not to really lean on the chair. All I want you to do is just gently shift the weight over that leg. So chair in front, so you're going to be able to move this leg. So what we're going to do is squeeze the bottom a little bit, push down into your feet a little bit. Think of just standing up nice and tall through the back of your head. So remember, there's a little shift, isn't there, into the leg you're standing on. And then we're going to try and bring this leg forward, like a little kick forward and a tap back to wherever you feel comfortable. Keep the weight in that leg. So we swing and tap. Swing and swing if you want, or swing and tap, or even just a little swing and a tap. Now, are you still squeezing your bottom? So tighten the muscles in your bottom and your glutes. And if this leg is now screaming, if you can really feel it around here, that is a good thing, but you might want a little breather. So we could go to the other side. Exactly the same. Squeeze your bottom. Shift the weight over very slightly over that leg that's going to support you, nice and tall through the body. Swing and tap. Now you notice when I'm doing this, I'm not tipping, I'm not moving my upper body. I want you to stay nice and still. Breathe, keep chest open. Remember to work at your level. So if you really just want to do a little tiny tap, you can tap forward and back if you want. I just want you to get used to moving in that hip a little bit. Should we swap sides again? So let's see if we can do 5 more on this side. So you can break this up if you're really feeling it in that support leg. You could do 2 each side. You could keep swapping. Yeah, build up to maybe doing 10 on one side before you have to swap. So remember, you're working at your level. You're squeezing your bottom, you're pushing down into your support leg. You're breathing, don't hold your breath. 2 more. Lovely, let's go across to the other side. So what are we doing? We're squeezing the bottom, aren't we? We're pushing down into the support leg as the weight goes over it. We're nice and tall, we're going to keep breathing the whole way through. We're going to keep squeezing that bottom. Keep that upper body nice and still. Lovely. Okay, let's move on to the next one. So if you were struggling a little bit with those muscles working around the hip, then what you could do here is just keep alternating. So just to mix it up a bit, so we're not doing it all too one-sided for too long. We're going to lift the knee up in front. So we're going to just change the support hand on this one. So we're going to stand sideways on. We're going to lift up. When we lift up, try not to bring your hips forward. So you stay still, you lift up, You lift up, so we're going to squeeze the bottom a little bit again. We're going to push down into the foot we're standing on. So there's a very slight shift of weight, isn't there, from side to side, very slightly, but not obviously, very slight shift. And again, you might want to have your knees a little bit lower than me, and that's absolutely fine. You should always work at your level. And again, you can do it if you start getting tired, just see if you can do like a walking motion. So your knee lift could be down here. But if you can do bigger than that, then do bigger than that. And do the biggest movement that you can do well. It might be a challenge and you think, well, that's enough, you just go a little bit lower. Make it so you can feel it, so that when we stop, you feel quite pleased that we've stopped, okay? Okay, next one's a little bit lower, a little bit easier, so take a breather if you need to. Remember, we're going to try and do these to a place that they test you, so everyone is different. You might need more breaks, you might be able to do the whole thing all the way through and want to start again, but you must test yourself, and that is the key to getting stronger. So we're going to try and do a heel strike here. So a heel strike is basically the bit where you lift your leg and the heel goes down first, or should go down. We don't want to walk flat-footed, remember. So what we're going to do is a little bit of knee lift in here again. Lift the knee and straighten that leg out and push the heel to the floor. Yeah? I don't want you to do it though. I want a bit of power, yeah? So try and lift up and strike that heel. Lift and strike. Maybe even make a little bit of noise on the floor. Yeah, strike your heel. And then if that gets a little bit tiring, just try and pull the toes back towards you. Now if you find this difficult to keep your toes up, you could actually put a band around and do some seated stretching to stretch into here. Okay, so that position, if that feels uncomfortable or hard to do, you could take it into a seated position, put a band around and do some of that before you do that exercise. Heel strikes. Again, try and do about 10 each side if you can. Again, maybe you need to squeeze your bottom a little bit. Make sure you're not moving your upper body, and you do need to keep breathing. Okay, how are we feeling? We're good? Let's go to the last of the exercises now. So, right close to the chair here. What we're going to do is we're going to take a little step back with one leg. And then, we're going to make sure we're not leaning on the chair too much. We're going to put our weight back in the front leg. So can you see that's pulled my heel off the floor? So we want to stay like that. We're going to make sure that we're not leaning forward or leaning back. Come over the chair, so nice and straight. And then we're going to just tuck the bottom under, because in this position a lot of people stick their bottom out. You've got to bring those hips towards the chair and tuck your bottom under. Can you see that's bent both my knees? We're going to stay like that. So the weight's in this front leg. Now this is all about technique. Yeah, it's not what you do, it's the way that you do it. If you lift your back heel, remember the weight's in the front leg, squeeze your bottom a bit. If you lift that and put it down and you're here near the chair, coming up in front, you're using this muscle more than the back one. And we want to use the muscles in the back. So this is the bit where you lift your feet up, yeah? We want to be able to get a little bit more strength there. Most people, the front muscles stay stronger a little bit longer. So we're going to try and focus on using the back of the leg a little bit more, perhaps, on this one. We're going to try and keep the leg back as far as we can. It might come forward a bit, still do the exercise. Just keep focusing on putting that leg back as far as you can, so that if it comes forward, you don't keep banging the chair, you come back again. And again, you might just want to do 5, change to the other leg, squeeze your bottom, weight in the feet, take a step back, we put the weight back in the front, we make sure we're not leaning over, tuck our bottom under, bend the knees, weight in the front leg. See if you can keep that back leg as far back as you can. Keep breathing. So change legs, we're here, step back, come forward, bend the knees, straighten up, squeeze the bottom, tap. Should be feeling it down the back of this thigh. Change legs, back, forward, align yourself, tap. And come back to the centre. And always a good stretch to do is to stretch out those hamstrings. If they hang quite tight, and that can actually stop you being able to do that heel strike. So from here, you need to be able to pull the toes back. So you probably want to put something around your foot and pull those toes back, or you could do that against the wall, a little bit of stretch into the back of the leg. Let me know how you get on. I hope you enjoyed strengthening your legs for better walking.